demonstration, no. I think no. We don't have to listen.
That's assault. That's assault. That's assault. Assault.
Yes, that's assault.
That's not free speech. That's assault. It's above 104 decibels. I have a decibel meter here.
Okay, go ahead, whatever, okay? I love Aragunde. What are you talking about, man?
Okay,
what are you talking about?
Off.
Don't take my picture, okay?
Hey, don't.
My name is Tim Paulson. I'm the Executive Director of the San Francisco Labor Council. We represent 150 unions in San Francisco. And I want to let everybody know that we are on record supporting the workers in Korea who have been fighting. The workers in Korea who have been fighting for their jobs. The contracting out that's been going on, in which people are getting their wages diminished, is unacceptable. The government repression against the trade unions and the workers that are fighting to keep their jobs at good wages is unacceptable, and the Labor Council doesn't support that. And the free trade agreements that are allowing this type of exploitation of workers is totally, absolutely unconscionable, and we are exactly and very specifically against that. That is the message I'm here to deliver. We're here outside the consulate, and we're asking the Korean government to stop the oppression of the workers, to let people make sure that they can strike and have the human dignity to keep the jobs that they have. That is what our message is. And here in the United States and throughout the world, we are here to support the union workers to keep their jobs. That is our message. And that is what we're asking the government to respect, to let the trade union movement freely express their ability to make sure they keep their jobs against the oppression. Thank you.
Defend the right to strike! Defend the right to strike! Defend the right to strike!
Aragunde is acronym for Hello Organized Bay Area Koreans! We came out here from Oakland. This is our sign. From Oakland to Seoul. Can somebody read that sign? Can you stretch it out? From Oakland to Seoul. Respect our workers. Say it with me. From Oakland to Seoul. Respect our workers. From Oakland to Seoul. Respect our workers. So my name's Aya. I'm with Hobach, and we created this statement in solidarity with the striking workers in Korea. KCTU workers, and to say, as many Koreans on the peninsula are saying, I am not fine. We believe that all people are entitled to dignified work. Work that supports our needs and acknowledges that we're not only workers, but we're also people with loved ones and part of communities. We expect work that acknowledges that we're entitled to rest and health. We won't work under safe working conditions. Work that is free from sexual and racial abuse. You know what I'm saying? Work that sustains, not degrades the environment, no matter what the cost. What is more important than the air that we breathe, the water that we drink, and we're entitled to it as workers. We're here today because we believe that privatization is one force that makes this kind of work impossible. Neoliberalism and its practices have led to a race to the bottom, where workers are pitted against each other on a global scale, and we say no. To this we say no. We're not okay with putting the fate of workers in the hands of greedy corporate policymakers whose profit motives demand worker exploitation. We see the attacks on unions under the Pakistani administration as part of a larger privatization scheme in South Korea and the Asia Pacific. Pacific.
Solidarity with our brothers and sisters in Korea, defending the right to strike. We are tired of workers being beat down all over the world, cannot stand up for their right. The imperialists are everywhere, reaping havoc on the working men and women, their families all over the world. Therefore, we are here to send a simple message that the ILA on the East Coast of the United States stand in solidarity with our brothers and sisters in Korea. Power to the people in South Korea. Thank you.
The letter from the National Union of Metal Workers of South Africa. Dear comrades, we sent you warm and militant greetings from 350,000 metal workers organized under NUMSA. We are very humbled by your solidarity rally at the time workers internationally are battling for organization and policies to take control of their lives. Our hearts are with the Korean workers as they battle Park Geun-hye regime against its campaign to annihilate unions in the railways in preparation of the privatization of these assets. As NUMSA, we expect less from our bourgeois state in South Africa, as demonstrated during the Marikana massacre, that it will stop at nothing to defend capital. Rather than read the whole letter here, we're going to post it up on our website. You'll have an opportunity to see it. But NUMSA is the largest, most militant union in South Africa. They are no longer supporting the government of South Africa because it is imposing neoliberal capitalist policies, and they've called for a workers' party to fight for socialism in South Africa. That is the way forward for workers to fight against deregulation, privatization, and the destruction of what our forefathers fought in the labor movement decades and decades ago. In Europe today, country after country are organizing general strikes against these policies. In Greece, in France, and in Spain. So today we have an honored guest here from the La Coordinadora, the Dockworkers Union of Spain, from the International Dockworkers Council, Jordi Aragunde.
Jordi Aragunde from the port of Barcelona. I try to speak in English because my Spanish, I understand that you don't understand. My Spanish is better to speak in English. We, in Spain, we are in a very complicated situation. As you know, we have crisis, we have the Troika, that is the monetary international, that is trying to break the European rights that we win, or our parents win in his history. And we believe that the situation that we are living is similar that in Korean. We are here today because this is not a fight of the workers of Korea. This is a fight between the working class and the capitalists, the imperialists that is growing up, and they are trying to win this war. For them, this is his war. Our demands, first of all, is free all high Korean workers, no reprisal high firing workers, and drop the charges and the fines. Stop the government and the repression against the unions. It's the same that is happening in Europe. Stop the privatization. And finally, please, a little of music, is defend the right to strike.
Down with Aragunde! Down with Aragunde! Down with Aragunde! Down with Aragunde! Down with Aragunde!
He's disrupting us.
Hey, you shut up! Your own business! Take care of your own business!
No, we don't. KCTU!
To have all these industries that are unsustainable, that are destroying our planet, taken over, dismantled, or rapidly transition to become sustainable.
We're going to say what the chant is so everyone can hear what it is. The second time we say it, we're going to pause between every line, and we will appreciate it if everyone will repeat the line that we just said.
Yeah!
It is our duty to fight for our freedom.
It is our duty to fight for our freedom!
It is our duty to win.
It is our duty to win!
We must love each other and protect each other.
We must love each other and protect each other!
We have nothing to lose but our chains.
We have nothing to lose but our chains!
Now we're going to say it 2 more times to make sure everyone gets the message.
Ow! Yeah, we are! It is our duty to fight for our freedom!
It is our duty to win.
It is our duty to win!
We must love each other and protect each other.
We must love each other and protect each other!
We have nothing to lose but our chains.
We have nothing to lose but our chains!
It is our duty to fight for our freedom.
It is our duty to fight for our freedom!
It is our duty to win.
It is our duty to win!
We must love each other and protect each other.
We must love each other and protect each other!
We have nothing to lose but our chains.
We have nothing to lose but our chains!
One of the other rights that we are fighting for is a public education that's free for young people. We need to have free education for young people. Young people have the right to have education, and in San Francisco and City College are trying to shut it down to privatizers. The same people that are trying to privatize in Korea. This afternoon is Roger Scott, who's on the executive board of AFT Local 2121, and at the last rally last month, he was asked by a reporter here from the Korean press, why is he here? Is he being paid to protest? And they said, why would you ask a question? And he said, because those people are being paid by the government to protest. So what does that mean when you're being paid to protest? We are here of our own volition, of our own freedom, for our own rights. So Roger helped get a resolution passed by the San Francisco Labor Council, and he supports our right and the workers here and students here, as well as the students and teachers in Korea. So welcome, Roger Scott.
Thank you, folks. It's good to be here. I've been at City College since 1972. It's a great institution of the people. We need to keep it open, and it should be free as it was until 1983. We're here to tell the Korean government today through the consulate that they need to respect the rights of workers, because workers' rights are human rights. Good unions and good educators educate the people of the country. Teacher unionists try to advocate for society and not just our members. City College is going to survive. The Accreditation Commission that's trying to close it has a privatizing agenda. They have ties to right-wing organizations. They have a great deal of power. We filed 3 lawsuits against them. We will prevail, and I assure you that City College will stay open to continue serving the people as it has for 78 years. Thank you.
Defend the right to strike! 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 American workers and American people support their struggles, their strike against privatization, and their fight for human rights and labor rights. So our next speaker is going to be from Hoback, and we have a direct statement from the KCTU to our rally today. So welcome the sister from Hoback, from the KCTU directly to our rally.
Before I read this statement, let's just do one chant. It's called Tujang. Tujang means struggle in Korean. Tujang! 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 This statement is from Shin Sung-chul, the KCTU president. Dear comrades, I am honored to extend my warmest greetings of struggle and solidarity from Seoul. Tujang! Tujang! Today, workers
spray at union members ringed around the KCTU offices. I saw many acts of heroism, including by high school students facing off against the cops. In the end, the police broke down the doors of the union offices and stormed the building, arresting 120. We know now from government documents that from the very beginning, the Park Geun-hye government had already decided to make an example of the Korean Railworkers Union, just the same way that Reagan did with the Paco strike back in the 80s.
We have here in the United States a particular responsibility because it is the United States government that divided Korea. That's right. It is the United States government that established the military dictatorship in South Korea. It is the United States government that set up the KCTU. The United States continues to occupy South Korea, and we say, U.S. out of Korea now! U.S. out! The United States is pivoting toward Asia, they say, as if they have not already pivoted there. In order to carry out their provocative policy, their warlike policy, which creates the danger of a new Korean War every day, they want to crush the people's voices inside South Korea, including the KCTU. We are here today in solidarity with the KCTU. Let us chant that. KCTU! KCTU! KCTU!
Because the same government in Korea and the same government here that want to sell off the post offices, they are the people that are ripping the public off. And joining us is David Welsh, who's a retired postal worker. He's fighting to save the Berkeley post office and all public services. Welcome, David Welsh, with Community and Postal Workers Union.
You know what are the boss? What is it the bosses are after? What is it really that they're after? They want to reduce the wages and the benefits of every worker. And privatization is one of the means that they have to do this. And just as they're trying to privatize the railroads in Korea, and these courageous workers fighting a fascist type of government over there are getting into the streets and fighting to prevent the privatization of their railroads. Just as here in the United States, we're out fighting to prevent the privatization of the post office, selling it off to the greedy capitalists piece by piece. We occupied the Berkeley post office in a tent city for 33 days with 25 people day and night. And we need to start upping the ante here and raising our tactics. You know, there's one other country that used to have a nationalized sector, and that country is one of the poorest countries in this hemisphere. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Oh, okay. Let me finish here. And that's the country of Haiti. And the country of Haiti, which is in our hemisphere and one of the poorest countries, used to have a strong nationalized sector. But when they had the coup d'etat in 2004, sponsored by the United States, France, and Canada, and they invaded Haiti and arrested the president and sent him across the ocean in exile, one of the first things the coup regime did was to privatize the public enterprises. Right now, a South Korean company, one of the largest apparel companies, Seya, has established a low-wage factory in Haiti, paying below the minimum wage. And you know something that's interesting is that from this factory, the South Korean flag flies. That sums up what's happening. So we're fighting the capitalists here, we're fighting the capitalists in Korea, and we're fighting the capitalists in Haiti. Thank you.
We had a strike, and it wasn't just a local strike. Although everyone sees it that way, unfortunately, we were not successful as we should have been, and the reason why is because it was not international. It needed to be connected to all the workers in the entire world. Veolia, who we fought against, wants to privatize the transit systems in the entire country and here in the Bay Area. What we need to fight for is not only better wages and more power to the unions. No, we need to smash the capitalists. We need to take their wealth and we need to distribute it. It's not about just jobs. There's not enough jobs to go around. We need to have income, guaranteed income for all. We need to have good living conditions for all. But fares should not be reduced. They should be eliminated. Transit should be free. Hospitals should be free. And we have the productive capability to do that.
Defend the right to strike.
Defend the right to strike. Defend the right to strike.
Dignity is something that is not given to our parents. We are the children of extremely strong people who constantly fight through low-wage jobs to provide for us. It doesn't matter that they're the foundation of society or that their work is a million times harder than a successful person's. Their work is seen as jobs for people who have little to no education. They have jobs that society tells us is not worthy of dignity.
Thousands of Koreans were standing with each other like we're here today in solidarity to ask for Park Geun-hye to step down from the position for having NIS interference with elections. Possible goals for selling off the Korean Railroad. Solidarity. Now, union or fellowship for common responsibilities and interests as between members of a group or between peoples. Woo!
The word solidarity is said differently in every language. However, it all means the same thing, standing with each other. Today we are here to stand with the workers in Korea who are against privatization and standing with them for the dignity they deserve.
Here in the United States.
Bravely organized a general strike to fight for their demands. We're here to demand their reinstatement. We're here to insist that they be rehired. And we're here to say no to the free trade deals that enable and that give an organized framework for those assaults on workers. We're here to defend the workers. We're here to defend the right to strike. We're here to say, workers of the world unite. That is our message. That is what we need to hear. It will be heard here. We're going to continue the struggle.
We all know we're not here out of charity. We're not here just as do-gooders. We're here in solidarity and in the class struggle. But the class struggle and charity do have something in common. What they have in common is that they both start at home. And I can remember 20 or 30 years ago when the South Korean workers were held up as a model and their unions were held up as a model for working class people here in the United States. How docile they were, how they were willing to accept anything from the bosses. And look at what the situation is now. And we're very happy to have the endorsements of the Central Labor Council, the Labor Council, and other official bodies of organized labor. But we have to also remember this. You cannot support the workers in South Korea and at the same time support the same goddamn politicians here, from Barack Obama, Dianne Feinstein, Barbara Boxer, and all the rest of the Democrats who are working hand in glove with the government of South Korea. There's a total contradiction. There's a total contradiction between supporting the militant action and the general strike over there in South Korea